Welcome to Rare Coins History. Today we are talking about the most valuable rare Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coins from the United States of America that collectors are paying big money for. Many people still have these coins in their pocket change, but they don't realize their true value. In this video you will discover which pennies you should never spend and why these coins are becoming extremely valuable in the coin collecting world. So make sure you watch this video until the end, because one small detail on your coin could make it worth a lot of money. If you enjoy rare coin discoveries and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in circulation, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Rare Coins History. Comment below if you have found any rare coins. Thanks with love for watching. Coin Point 1. Today we are exploring a fascinating small coin that many people have seen but very few truly understand, the rare and valuable Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin from the year 1958 with no mint mark. This coin was produced by the United States Mint in Philadelphia and features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected leaders in the history of the United States of America. Imagine checking an old box of coins, a jar that has been sitting on a shelf for years, or even a handful of change collected over time. Among those ordinary-looking pennies could be the 1958 Lincoln Memorial cent. At first glance it looks simple, just another copper coin from the past. But coin collectors know that certain years and certain details can make a coin stand out in a very surprising way. The Lincoln Memorial design itself is historic because it was the first time the reverse of a United States coin showed a real building instead of a symbolic design. When the coin was struck in 1958, millions were produced, yet today collectors search carefully through them looking for high-quality examples and rare variations. The coin without a mint mark indicates it was made in Philadelphia, and these coins often circulated heavily, which means finding one in excellent condition is much harder than many people expect. Collectors often begin by looking at the condition of the coin. The shine of the copper surface, the sharpness of Lincoln's portrait, and the clear details on the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse all play a major role. A coin that has been protected over the decades can appear much more attractive than one that spent years in circulation. When a coin still has strong luster and very few marks, collectors immediately become interested. But the real excitement comes when we talk about errors and special characteristics that make some 1958 pennies rare. One of the most famous things collectors look for is doubling in the letters or numbers, where the design appears slightly repeated due to the minting process. Some coins may show stronger details in the inscriptions, unusual die marks, or other small variations that separate them from normal coins. These are the details that experienced collectors study very closely. Another factor that makes this coin interesting is the history around the final years of the wheat cent era transitioning fully into the Lincoln Memorial design period. By 1958, many people were already saving coins from that time period, yet only a small percentage remained in near-perfect condition. Over the years, as collectors searched and graded coins more carefully, certain high-grade examples became increasingly desirable. Coin collecting is not only about value but also about discovery. Many collectors enjoy the process of examining coins under light, rotating them slowly, and noticing small details that others might overlook. A 1958 Lincoln Memorial cent with strong detail, bright surfaces, and clean fields can instantly attract attention when shown to collectors or submitted for grading. There is also something special about holding a coin that has traveled through decades of history. This small cent might have passed through countless hands, stores, and cities before finally ending up in someone's collection. Every mark and every detail tells a story, and sometimes that story becomes even more exciting when the coin turns out to be rarer than expected. If you have old pennies stored away, now is the perfect time to check them carefully. Look at the date, examine the condition, and pay attention to any unusual features. Many collectors have discovered valuable coins simply by taking a closer look at coins they already owned. Now let's talk about the value that many viewers are waiting to hear. A normal circulated 1958 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin with no mint mark is usually worth around 2 to 10 cents in the collector's market. A well-preserved uncirculated example can reach around $5 to $20 depending on condition and quality. High-grade certified coins with strong red color and minimal marks have sold for several $100s. Rare exceptional examples with outstanding preservation have reached prices of several $1,000s at major auctions. Coin 2. Today we are diving into a coin that many people have seen, many people have spent, and many collectors are still searching for in their pocket change. This is the famous Lincoln 1 cent from the Denver Mint, the 1971 D Mint mark coin from the United States. At first glance it may look like an ordinary penny, but if you listen carefully and watch until the end, you may discover why some collectors treat this coin like hidden treasure. This coin carries the historic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design loved by collectors all around the world. The 1971 D Lincoln cent was produced in huge numbers, which means millions of people think it has no special value. But coin collectors know something important. Inside those millions of coins, there are rare varieties, beautiful high-grade examples, and surprising mint errors that can turn a simple penny into a coin worth serious money. The story begins in 1971 when the Denver Mint was striking Lincoln cents for circulation. Most coins were used in everyday shopping, traveling through stores, markets, and banks. Over time, many coins became worn, scratched, or damaged. Because of this, finding a clean and sharp 1971 D Lincoln cent today is actually harder than many people think. Collectors always look for coins with strong details in Lincoln's hair, clear lettering, and a bright original color. Now here is where things become exciting. Some 1971 D Lincoln cents show interesting mint errors that collectors search for every day. One of the most talked about possibilities is a double die style appearance where parts of the letters or numbers look slightly doubled. Even small doubling can attract attention from collectors who love variety coins. Another thing to watch is off-center strikes. This happens when the coin is not perfectly aligned during minting, leaving part of the design missing and creating a very unusual look. There are also coins with die cracks, cuds, or unusual strike quality. These small differences may not look important to someone who is not a collector, but to coin enthusiasts they are clues that a coin might be special. When collectors search coin rolls or old jars of pennies, they are often hoping to find one of these surprising pieces. Condition is another powerful factor. A coin that was never used in circulation, often called a mint state coin, can be far more valuable than a worn example. The color of the coin also matters. Bright red copper coins are often the most desired by serious collectors. Over the years, copper coins slowly change color, so finding a bright red 1971 D Lincoln cent is like discovering a time capsule from the early 1970s. Many people ask why collectors care so much about this coin. The reason is simple. Coin collecting is a mix of history, discovery, and the thrill of finding something rare where nobody expected it. A coin that once bought a small item decades ago could now sit inside a collection, admired for its history and condition. Imagine searching through a handful of old pennies and suddenly spotting a 1971 D coin that looks sharper than the rest. The date is clear, the mint mark stands strong, and the coin shines with original luster. Moments like this are why coin hunters keep looking. Every jar of coins might hide a surprise. Collectors also enjoy studying the design details. On the front of the coin you see Lincoln's profile with the date and mint mark below. On the reverse, the classic wheat era had already ended years earlier, replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design, which was still present in 1971. This design connects American history with everyday money that people used for decades. If you are someone who loves coin collecting, or even if you just started recently, coins like the 1971 D Lincoln cent are perfect to learn from. They are common enough to find but still full of hidden variety and grading challenges. And sometimes, a rare condition example appears and surprises everyone. So next time you see an old penny, do not ignore it. Take a closer look. Check the date. Look at the mint mark. Coin 3. Today we are going to talk about a coin that many people have seen but very few truly study carefully. This is the United States of America Lincoln 1 cent coin from 1976 with no mint mark. At first it may look like just another penny from everyday change, but collectors know that some of these coins can become very interesting and sometimes quite valuable. In this video we will slowly explore the history, the rare details, the errors that collectors search for, and why this particular Lincoln cent still attracts attention many years after it was made. The historical moment of 1976. The year 1976 was special in the United States because it marked 200 years since the nation's independence. During this time many coins were circulating heavily as the country celebrated its bicentennial period. Even though special designs appeared on some other coins, the Lincoln cent continued with its classic look that people already recognized everywhere. On the front of the coin you can see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This design had already been part of American coinage for decades and had become one of the most famous coin portraits in the world. The 1976 penny without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia, and millions of these coins entered circulation. Why a no mint mark coin can interest collectors? Many people think that because a coin was produced in large numbers it cannot be valuable. But collectors understand that the story is more complex. Value often comes from small details such as condition, unusual striking characteristics, and rare mint errors that only appear on a limited number of coins. The 1976 Lincoln cent without a mint mark can become desirable when it is found in high-grade condition or when it shows unusual minting features that make it stand out from ordinary coins. The beauty of high-grade examples. One of the first things collectors look for is the condition of the coin. Some pennies were quickly used in circulation and became worn. But a small number were saved early and still show bright surfaces and strong red color. These coins are much harder to find today. A high-quality example will show sharp details in Lincoln's hair, clear lettering across the coin, and a smooth surface that reflects light nicely. Coins like this are often the ones that collectors send for grading because their preservation makes them more desirable. Rare errors that make this coin exciting. Now let us talk about the part collectors enjoy the most. Mint errors. These are the mistakes that happen during the coin production process, and they can transform a simple penny into a collectible item. One error collectors search for is doubling on the date or letters. When the design appears slightly doubled, especially under magnification, it can indicate a variety that collectors want to study and collect. Another interesting error is a die crack. This appears as a raised line on the coin caused by a small crack in the die used to strike the coin. Some collectors enjoy finding different die crack patterns because each one can look unique. Off-center strikes are also very exciting. When a coin is struck slightly off position, part of the design shifts away from the center. These coins immediately catch attention because they look different from normal pennies. There are also coins that show weak strikes or unusual metal flow patterns. These details might look small, but experienced collectors carefully examine them because sometimes these differences make a coin more collectible. The treasure hunt for collectors. One reason coin lovers enjoy searching for the 1976 no mint mark Lincoln cent is the excitement of discovery. Many collectors go through jars of old pennies, bank rolls, and inherited coin collections hoping to find a coin that others may have ignored. Every coin has a story. Some traveled through countless hands in daily transactions, while others were saved quietly for years. Finding a beautiful or unusual coin from this year can feel like uncovering a small piece of history. How to examine your coin? If you want to check your own 1976 Lincoln cent, start with good lighting and a simple magnifier. Look closely at the date, the letters, and Lincoln's portrait. Try to spot anything unusual such as doubling, cracks, or a misaligned strike. Also look at the coin's color. Coins that still show a bright red tone are often more attractive to collectors than darker circulated pieces. Even small improvements in condition can make a noticeable difference in collector interest. Why this coin still matters today? Why even though decades have passed since 1976, collectors continue to search for these pennies. The reason is simple. Coins connect people to history, and sometimes valuable discoveries still appear in everyday places. For many collectors the joy is not only about money but also about learning, observing details, and sharing discoveries with others who love coins. Coin value and auction interest. Most circulated 1976 Lincoln 1-cent coins without a mint mark are usually worth only a few cents. Uncirculated examples with strong details can be worth several dollars depending on quality. Very high grade coins with excellent preservation may reach tens of dollars among collectors. Rare error examples and exceptional condition coins have sold for hundreds of dollars in auctions and private sales. Coin 4. Today we are going to explore a penny that many people have seen but very few have truly studied. This is the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent coin from 1966 with no mint mark. At first glance it may look like a normal coin from old pocket change, but collectors know that certain coins from this year can be surprisingly interesting. In this video we will carefully uncover the story of the 1966 Lincoln cent, why collectors search for it, and what special details can make this coin stand out from the rest. The year and the CO in the mid-1960s were a unique time in American coin history. During this period the United States Mint removed mint marks from many coins for a few years to discourage coin hoarding. That is why the 1966 Lincoln cent does not show a mint mark even though it was produced in large quantities. For collectors, this detail already makes the coin part of an important historical period in United States coin production. On the front of the coin you will see the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This design had already become one of the most recognizable coin images in the world. For decades people used these pennies in everyday transactions, not realizing that some examples might later attract the attention of collectors. Why collectors pay attention to the 1966 Lincoln cent? Even though millions of these coins were produced, collectors always look deeper than mintage numbers. The real interest often comes from condition, striking quality, and rare mint errors that happened during production. Some 1966 pennies were saved early and remain in beautiful condition today. These coins are much harder to find than worn examples that circulated for years. Another reason collectors like this coin is because it comes from a time when the mint was producing huge numbers of coins quickly. During such periods, small variations and minting mistakes sometimes occurred, and these mistakes can turn an ordinary coin into a collectible item. Condition and color matter. A low tone of the first things experienced collectors notice is the color of the coin. Lincoln cents from this era were made mostly of copper, and when preserved well they show a bright red appearance. Coins that still have this strong original color are often more valuable than darker circulated coins. A high-quality 1966 Lincoln cent will show clear details in Lincoln's hair, strong lines on the design, and smooth surfaces without heavy marks. Coins like this can stand out immediately to collectors who carefully examine pennies. Interesting errors that can make this coin rare. Now let us talk about the details that excite coin hunters. Mint errors are one of the biggest reasons a coin becomes valuable. These errors happen during the striking process at the mint and they create unusual features on the coin. One example collectors search for is doubling in the lettering or the date. If the numbers of the year or parts of the design appear doubled under magnification, it can indicate a collectible variety. Another error is die cracks. These appear as raised lines across the coin and are caused by small cracks forming in the minting die. Each die crack pattern can look slightly different, making certain coins unique. Off-center strikes are also very popular among collectors. When a coin is struck slightly off position, the design may shift and leave part of the blank area visible. Coins like this are easy to notice and often saved immediately. Some coins may also show weak strikes, unusual surfaces, or small planchet problems. Even minor differences can attract attention from collectors who love studying coin varieties. The excitement of searching for this PNNY. Many collectors enjoy going through jars of old coins hoping to discover a hidden treasure. The 1966 Lincoln cent is one of those coins that people still check carefully because special examples can appear unexpectedly. Imagine finding a bright red coin with sharp details that has survived for decades without heavy wear. Discoveries like that make coin collecting exciting and keep people interested in searching through everyday change. How to check your own coin? If you have a 1966 Lincoln cent, place it under good lighting and examine it closely. Look carefully at the numbers in the date and the lettering around the coin. Try to spot any unusual doubling or raised lines that might indicate a die crack. Also check the surface of the coin. A smooth and shiny coin with strong detail is usually more attractive to collectors. Using a magnifier can help reveal small details that are easy to miss with the naked eye. Why this coin continues to attract attention? And even today, decades after it was produced, the 1966 Lincoln cent remains a coin that collectors enjoy studying. It represents a unique moment in mint history when mint marks were temporarily removed, and it reminds collectors that even common coins can hide interesting stories. The joy of coin collecting is not only about value but also about learning, discovery, and appreciating the details that make each coin different. Coin value and auction. Market. Most circulated 1966 Lincoln 1-cent coins are usually worth only a few cents. Uncirculated examples with better preservation can be worth several dollars depending on quality. Very high-grade coins with strong red color can reach tens of dollars among collectors. Exceptional examples and rare error varieties have sold for hundreds of dollars in auctions and collector markets. Coin 5. Today we are talking about a penny that many people may have seen in everyday change, but collectors know it can sometimes become very interesting. This is the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent coin from 1980 with the D Mint mark from the Denver Mint. At first glance it may look like a simple copper-colored coin, but when collectors study it closely they often discover details that make certain examples special. In this video we are going to explore the story of this coin, why collectors search for it, and the rare errors and conditions that can turn an ordinary coin into a collectible treasure. The design that everyone recognizes. The Lincoln cent is one of the most famous coins ever made in the United States. On the front you will see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has been recognized by generations of people. By 1980 the Lincoln cent had already been circulating for many decades, and millions of coins were produced every year to meet the needs of daily transactions. The small D Mint mark under the date tells us that this coin was struck in Denver. While many coins were made that year, collectors always search for the best preserved pieces and unusual varieties that make a coin stand out from the rest. Why the 1980 D Lincoln cent is interesting. Many people believe that a coin made in large numbers cannot be valuable. However, in coin collecting the real excitement often comes from details such as condition, rare striking characteristics, and mint errors. The 1980 D Lincoln cent is a coin that collectors still examine carefully because certain examples show strong strikes, beautiful surfaces, and unusual features created during production. Coins that were saved early and kept away from circulation sometimes still show a bright original color and strong detail. These pieces are much harder to find today compared to coins that spent years moving from one pocket to another. The importance of coin condition is one of the biggest factors that decide whether a coin becomes desirable. When a coin leaves the mint it has sharp details and smooth surfaces. Over time circulation can cause scratches, fading color, and worn designs. But occasionally a coin survives in almost perfect shape. A high-grade 1980 D Lincoln cent will show clear lines in Lincoln's hair, sharp lettering across the coin, and a bright surface that reflects light. Collectors are always searching for coins like this because they represent the best preserved examples from that year. Rare errors that collectors look for. Now let us talk about something that makes coin collecting exciting. Mint errors. These are small mistakes that happen during the manufacturing process at the mint. While most coins are produced normally, a small number show unusual details that make them unique. One interesting error collectors search for is doubling in the date or letters. When the numbers or text appear slightly doubled under magnification, it can indicate a variety that collectors want to keep in their collections. Another error is a die crack. This appears as a raised line on the surface of the coin caused by a crack in the die used to strike the coin. Some coins show small cracks while others show more noticeable patterns that collectors find fascinating. Off-center strikes are also very popular. When the coin blank moves slightly during striking, the design may appear shifted away from the center. These coins look very different from normal pennies and are often saved immediately by collectors. There are also coins with clipped planchets, where a small part of the coin edge is missing due to the cutting process of the metal blanks. These unusual shapes make the coin stand out and increase collector interest. Why coin hunters still search for this PNN. Why many collectors enjoy the thrill of searching through jars of pennies or bank rolls hoping to discover something valuable hiding in plain sight. The 1980 D Lincoln cent is one of those coins that keeps people curious. Sometimes a bright uncirculated coin or a rare error suddenly appears where no one expected it. This excitement is what keeps the hobby alive. Each coin carries history and sometimes a surprise waiting to be discovered. How to check your own 1980 D Lincoln cent. If you want to examine your coin, place it under strong lighting and look closely at the date and mint mark. Use a magnifier to inspect the letters and numbers carefully. Look for doubling, unusual lines, or anything that looks different from a normal penny. Also check the color and surface of the coin. A coin that still shows strong original luster and minimal marks is usually more attractive to collectors. Even small differences can matter when a coin is evaluated. Why collectors value coins like THS coins are not only money. They are small pieces of history that traveled through many hands and moments in time. The 1980 Lincoln cent reminds collectors that even modern coins can become collectible when they show rare features or survive in exceptional condition. For many coin lovers, the excitement comes from learning, searching, and discovering details that others might overlook. Coin value and auction market. Most circulated 1980 Lincoln 1-cent coins are usually worth only a few cents. Uncirculated examples with better quality can be worth several dollars depending on condition. Very high-grade coins with strong original color can reach tens of dollars among collectors. Rare error examples and exceptional preserved coins have sold for hundreds of dollars in auctions.